XRP slides to $2.08 as Grayscale's GXRP ETF debut fails to ignite market. Traders should watch for potential breakdowns below $2.03, which could lead to further declines toward $1.91. Grayscale launches GXRP ETF on NYSE Arca as latest institutional XRP product. XRP falls despite ETF expansion, slipping toward critical psychological support. Grayscale expanded its exchange-traded product lineup on Monday with the launch of the Grayscale XRP Trust ETF, GXRP, on NYSE Arca, offering investors direct and straightforward exposure to XRP. The product, originally introduced as a private placement in September 2024, was formally converted into a spot ETF as part of Grayscale's dual listing alongside its new Dogecoin ETF. Krista Lynch, Senior Vice President of ETF Capital Markets at Grayscale, said GXRP's listing is another meaningful step in broadening access to the growing XRP ecosystem, positioning the fund as an efficient gateway for both institutional and retail investors. GXRP joins an expanding roster of XRP-based ETFs, including products from Canary Capital and REX Shares, with several more issuers filing under Section 8A for automatic approval. The ETF momentum reflects strong institutional appetite for regulated XRP exposure as the asset continues holding its position as the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. The growing ETF ecosystem emerges despite XRP's turbulent regulatory past. The U.S. SEC previously accused Ripple of raising $1.3 billion through unregistered XRP sales. A 2023 federal ruling determined that Ripple's programmatic exchange sales did not violate securities laws due to their blind bid/ask structure, though direct institutional sales were deemed securities offerings. This partial clarity has helped pave the way for broader institutional acceptance, though price action now depends heavily on technical factors rather than purely regulatory developments. XRP declined steadily through Tuesday's session, slipping from $2.13 to $2.08 as profit-taking and weak spot flows overshadowed the bullish ETF news cycle. The token traded within a volatile range of $2.03 to $2.15, reflecting persistent uncertainty across crypto markets. The volume surged 28% above average, hitting 177.9 M during the strongest sell-off phase. Price briefly tapped the $2.03 demand zone, rebounding toward $2.11 before stalling a multiple failed attempts to reclaim $2.14 to $2.15 confirmed resistance dominance. Late session selling cracked the $2.10 support floor, turning it into immediate resistance. Despite the ETF expansion and strengthening institutional infrastructure around XRP, the immediate reaction in spot markets showed traders prioritizing technical levels over fundamentals. The breakdown below $2.10 created a new sequence of lower highs and lower lows, confirming the broader short-term downtrend that has been forming since XRP rejected $2.30 earlier in the week. Momentum indicators, RSI/MACD, show oversold signals forming, but no trend reversal confirmation has emerged. Primary support, $2.03 to $2.05 demand zone immediate resistance. $2.14 to $2.15 failure region midterm resistance. $2.20 to $2.24 cluster breakdown target. Sub-$2.00 liquidity pocket at $1.91. The $2.03 level remains critical. A clean breakdown would expose deeper retracement levels tied to October's structure. XRP remains in a short-term, descending channel. Daily timeframe shows sellers defending every retest of $2.15. A potential base is forming at $2.03 to $2.07 but lacks conviction. A breakdown opens a direct path toward $1.91 and potentially $1.78 if market-wide risk-off intensifies. GXRP and other newly launched ETFs must show sustained inflows, not one-day spikes, for institutional sentiment to translate into spot bid support. This resistance cluster determines whether bulls regain control. Acceptance above here targets $2.20, $2.24. BTC's renewed weakness directly impacts high beta tokens like XRP. If Bitcoin continues violating structural support, XRP may not hold $2.00. Whale distribution has slowed, If inflows to exchanges spike again, downside pressure returns immediately.